This is the plaintiff, Frank Bianco. He says the defendant, his upstairs neighbor, left his shower on all day, causing a major flood. His apartment was trashed, his belongings turned to garbage, and now he has a big mold problem. For some reason, the defendant thinks he did nothing wrong and won't pay up, and that's simply not right. So he's suing for $5,000, the amount he's due. This is the defendant, Kevin. He says the plaintiff's story just doesn't add up. He fails to mention the plumbers were in the building on the day of the flood fixing the pipes, and he thinks they caused all the problems. The building's old. The plaintiff refused to let him see the damages, and he's not paying for something he didn't do. He's accused of being all wet.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Doug.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Frank Bianco?
Yes.
You are suing Kevin. You've asked us not to mention your last name. We'll respect that. For $5,000, according to you, your damages actually exceed that because there was a flood in your apartment and you say that that was his fault. Why don't you tell me what happened?
On January 17th, we were doing some plumbing repairs in the basement of the building.
And you are the super of that building?
Yes.
Okay.
So we were doing some plumbing repairs in the basement. In order to do that, we had to kill all the water to the entire building. On Friday, January 13th, notices were posted in the lobby of the building stating that there would be no water on Tuesday. At about 9:30 in the morning.
How many units are in this building?
49. Okay. Kevin called me at about 9:30 in the morning to complain that there was no water. I told him that, we did put up notices in the building. And he said, oh, well, I thought it said Thursday. And I says, no, it says Tuesday. That was the end of our conversation on the phone. The work continued all day long. At 4 o'clock.
Where was the work taking place?
In the basement, only in the basement. When we turned the water back on, the work that was done was checked, and there was no leaks, no problems with any of the work that was done. So the plumbers continued to pack up their stuff, and I walked back into the basement, walked into my apartment, and I hear running water, go into my son's room, and here's a waterfall coming through the ceiling. From where my son's room is, I know the apartments that are above me. I grabbed the keys to the apartments and went running up there. Went into Kevin's apartment and found the hot water on the bathtub running and the tub completely filled with water and overflowing. At that point, I made all the proper phone calls to the management, to his landlord, even to him, and began the long cleanup process.
Okay.
From that point on.
He wasn't home?
No, he was not.
What time did he get home?
I'm not too sure.
Okay. When he calls you, how is it you find out what's going on? He calls you?
Yes, he called my cell phone.
And what does he say to you?
He basically.
How tall are you? I can't stand it. Another second.
I'm 6'6".
6'6". And who is that little lady next to you?
That's my girlfriend.
Stand up. I can't stand it. Come on. How tall are you, honey?
I'm 5 foot.
You're 5 feet tall, and you found a guy 6'6".
Yeah.
Do you get this all the time?
Yeah. My mom's very proud of me.
And then wait, no, it's awesome. And then you're wearing flats. That's the part I love. You can't even amp it up a little to give the guy a fighting chance.
Totally a flat-shoed girl.
You're a flat-shoe girl, and that's that.
And he likes it. So
it's adorable.
Thank
all right.
you.
I'm sorry. I just couldn't let it go.
Thank you.
All right. Now I can concentrate. Now that that's out, I can concentrate. All right. You first get word of this. How?
Well, so I first got word of it by checking my voicemail. So when Frank called my phone, he left a voicemail, which I didn't get until a few hours later. So at the time I called him, I discussed with him on the phone what had happened. I basically asked if there was anything I could do, and he said no. And then I returned home immediately to see what, our bathroom looked like. And
who lives in that apartment?
Myself and...
Anybody else?
No.
Okay. And who had turned on the water that morning?
Well, so I never entered the bathroom that morning. What happened is Artie went in to take a shower and... Come
on up. So you're the one who entered the bathroom that morning?
Yeah, I did enter the bathroom that morning. I turned on the shower to have a shower, and there was water coming out. However, it quickly got very cold, and the pressure decreased. It was still running. I turned the faucet off, and I asked Kevin to call Frank to find out if there was a problem with the water. And then, obviously you heard what the conversation between Frank and Kevin was. Then we just got dressed, went to
So
work.
how does a tub get filled with water?
Well, that's the mystery to me because we basically never put the plunger down to stop the drain, and we never changed the shower diverter to the from the shower head to the the spigot part.
Yeah.
Right. And according to you, was it the spigot that was running?
Yes.
And how is your plug on the drain? How does that work?
It's one of those stand-up ones at the side where you, I don't know what it's called actually.
It's like a unit that actually
Yes.
physically plugs.
You have
as
to
opposed
plunge
to that
you have to
as
plunge.
opposed to that you just move a lever.
Yeah,
Am I
you
right?
have to.
Yes.
Yeah,
You actually
sorry.
physically put it in.
Yeah,
Yes,
you have to.
it's one of the
I
ones.
suppose it could go down there just from the water. I don't know. That would be quite the aim on the part of the water. I mean, the only way this could happen, if it happened, is that somebody was going to take a bath and not a shower and put it in there. That's
Yeah.
the only way, right?
So at a later date, when I discussed this with Frank, he basically said that sometimes, air in the pipes or vibration from the water returning into the system could cause some sort of,
Sucking it.
vibration or some.
Except for that doesn't explain why the water's coming out of the spigot as opposed to the shower, right?
I agree.
That's the odd part. And was this a weekday?
Yes, it was. It was a
Do you
Tuesday.
work?
Yes.
You both work
Yes.
on weekdays?
Yes.
The plaintiff says the defendant flooded his apartment so bad he now has bad mold problem. The defendant's girlfriend may have been the culprit. Let's listen.
All right. So now, according to you, you have all kinds of damages. Tell me about your damages. And that's part of what put you off, is the extent of the damages.
Well, basically, the extent of the damages.
I can't even imagine the bathtub you would fit into at 6'6".
Yeah.
I know it wasn't you. Go ahead. The
So-
extent of the damages you felt.
So as to how this all happened, the circumstances were sort of hard for me to swallow. But then since Frank was the sort of primary witness and also the primary plaintiff, I just felt that he had a conflict of interest, and I asked for him to sort of, let me speak to these plumbers or show me some evidence of what happened, and then he never followed up on that.
Okay.
And so then what I mostly have tried to do is go through my landlord, who I have a lease with and therefore a contract with.
Right, and that's fine, except for that he has a right to sue you if he,
Absolutely.
or you guys, if he feels that, it's your negligence, and that's his premise. So, but tell me about your damages, because you've got $200 in CDs and DVDs, a PlayStation that's ruined, another PlayStation games, several $100s in PlayStation games that's ruined, a $700 laptop that's ruined, and $3,200 worth of wood flooring that you say is ruined.
Yes.
And so you're going to have to start coughing up some really good proof right now.
Well, I have two estimates for the floor.
Okay? Show me pictures of the floor so that I can see that rather that it can't be repaired and that it must be replaced, which is what you're asking.
The floors are splitting.
She'll ask. Just hold on. Hold on one thing. That's okay. Here, referral.
Okay, so both of these estimates are answering the following question: what will it cost to replace the floors? That's great. Now what I need is proof that the floors need total replacing, as opposed to that a couple of planks need to be fixed or
The
something.
two contractors that I had come in to give me the estimates said that the whole floor needs to be.
Okay, now stop. Okay, you just said something which is what I was looking for, and neither of them say that in their estimate, that the floors need to be replaced. They just answer the question you posed to them, which is, what will it cost to replace the floors? So what I need now, and the reason that I ask is because I've looked at the pictures. I've had wood floors throughout my life, and I understand that I live in Miami, where we have hurricanes and water damage. So sometimes there's a couple of planks that need to be replaced, and then you have to match it. And you have to make sure you can match it, and that it's not something unusual. And then sometimes it swells back down, and then sometimes you have to replace the whole thing. I need to know which you are, because I can't have you making a lottery out of this case. I need you to, it to be, you know what I'm saying? And that's his
understand.
worry, is that all of a sudden every electronic in the house is underneath the leak, and everything is so. Now I need neither. You have anything that says these floors need to be ripped out?
No, I do not.
Other
Just
than
those
you,
two
because that's
estimates
right.
that I have there.
All right. So now I also have pictures of the wood floor, and is this it? I do see a plank that seems to be This is sort of a hard thing to see if you're not there, and I understand that. But it does seem to be separating. I see that. Two planks that seem to be separating.
I did have the management company come into the building a few days after this happened, and they took pictures of everything.
Right. That's the pictures I'm looking at, right?
No, those are my pictures.
Your pictures.
They wouldn't give me anything because they put it through their insurance company, and the insurance company denied the claim on everything that happened because they said it was no negligence on the building's part.
Right. They only cover the building's damages. They don't cover if there's a separate act of negligence alleged by someone else.
Yes.
The mattress. Okay, these are pictures of the soaked bed. You have a picture of the laptop. Oh yeah, that looks damaged. How am I going to tell that?
Yeah, I know. I do understand that.
Do you have something from some expert who said that it's water
I went into
damage?
Staples and wanted to get the laptop checked, but unfortunately, Staples wanted $125 to check the laptop.
Right.
All right, and I don't have $125 to give them to tell me.
Do you have an arm? And could you have brought me the laptop?
They said to me that I should not try to power it up because I could end up erasing the memory on the laptop.
Okay.
So whereas to where they can pull out the memory board. But you do understand that someone
in my position
I
needs
do
to be
understand.
really careful.
I understand.
Yeah, someone's not just trying to jack up the game.
I perfectly understand. I didn't want a chance trying to reboot or power up the computer.
What's your plan? Do you have a plan for that laptop? I mean,
if the memory board isn't damaged, it's still going to stay on the memory board.
Yeah, but what good does it do you to stand there and stare at you and say hi to it?
I don't have the money to take it out of the old one and buy a new one and put it in there.
All right. Well, you also don't have the proof that you deserve $700 for it if you can't prove to me that it's water damage. The PlayStation. What proof do you have that the PlayStation is water damage?
Same situation with the PlayStation as with the laptop.
Dude, you got to give me something, Mr. Bianco. You have to understand that you got to give me something.
And welcome back to the People's Court, Harvey Levin here. So, if the water goes into the mattress and drenches it, is the mattress ruined or can it be cleaned? What do you think?
I believe it would be ruined.
So you can't clean a wet mattress?
No, you can't.
What do you think?
No, definitely not. It was had it.
Anybody think you can clean a wet mattress? Anybody? You're saying no?
No, you can't. It's water damage.
And also, I think it would smell, and I think that smell would never go away, right? Or at least you would think it smells, right? Going inside the courtroom.
Okay, why couldn't you just bring me the PlayStation? I'm sure there's someone on my staff who plays PlayStation and could have figured it out. You don't even bring me that. That makes somebody in my shoes a little suspicious. What about the DVDs? You say all the DVDs are ruined, okay, from moisture.
Only
Can I see? Did you bring me any of them so I could?
No, I did not. I have pictures of the DVDs that they were thrown on the floor.
How do you think this is going for you right now?
Not well at all.
Did you ever go down there and take a look at stuff, or you wanted to distance yourself?
After the event, Your Honor, I spoke to the plaintiff twice in person regarding the situation, and on both occasions I asked him, we were in front of the building, I asked him if I could see some of the damages, and on the first discussion he said, not at this time, and I think the judgment that he was making was unless you're basically assuming liability for the damage and admitting to causing the damage, then it's not my role to show you these damages. And
did he say that?
In as many words.
Okay, did he ask to see the damages?
Yes, he did.
And why wouldn't you let him see it?
Because I asked him if he was accepting responsibility for what had happened.
Why doesn't he get to see it in order to decide if he would? Maybe like there was something you guys could have worked out. Why wouldn't
That's what I was attempting to do with him.
No, you were attempting to hijack him to be able to see it. You can't see it unless you tell me you're going to pay me, and that's sort of not conducive to working it out, is it? That's all right. You can choose how you want to do things. I mean, there's clearly water damage to the guys to the place. I mean, here's the kitchen ceiling has a huge chunk that is probably going to need to be cut out. And what'd you end up doing with the mattress?
Still sitting in the basement. Haven't done anything with it yet.
All right. I find that there are some damages. I find that there was clearly an event that happened, started in your place and came down. I find that you are totally unable to prove the amount that you are asking for. I am not going to order him to pay you $240 for bedding that you can wash. The mattress is probably a problem. The wood floors are going to need some repair. The ceiling is going to need some repair. And I am ordering the defendant to pay you $750 based on the damages that I see, not $5,000. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Well, the plaintiff loaded up and sued for $5,000 and comes out of the courtroom with an award of $750 here. You feel like you won or lost this case?
I feel that, there was damage definitely done to my apartment. The judge felt that it was a lot less than what I said it was.
Well, she needs proof.
I know. I should have been a little bit more prepared.
You can't just come in here and ask her for money.
Understandable.
Right? So why didn't you bring better proof?
I should have.
Right.
I definitely should have.
All right.
But
so
we're already said and done on that.
All right. Head around the corner there. All right. So step on in here. All right. Step right next to me here, please. You didn't find this funny at all, did you? I mean, you didn't even crack a smile the whole time, even during
I'm sorry. Yeah, I think it's very serious, and I feel really bad for the plaintiff. He clearly did suffer some sort of damage to his apartment, and I think in this kind of situation, you should just show everything to all parties involved and try and be as honest as possible.
Mm-hmm. Is there any chance that when you went into try to take a shower that morning, you may have left the drain closed?
I don't think so. We usually have showers every day, and I don't think I closed the drain. It's still a mysterious circumstance for us both, the whole how the leak started, but I don't think we can resolve that now. And I'm just glad this is all.
What's it like having a 6'6" boyfriend?
It's great fun. He reaches all the high shelves for me, and it's great fun, obviously.
I guess you get that all the time, right?
We do.
Sorry. Harvey.
Okay, it's so important to do two things. Number one, take pictures of the damage right when it occurs. Number two, try to establish before coming to court exactly what the item was worth at the time of the loss. That will do it for this case. Litigants, for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.